Hey, it's so good to be here. I'm so excited this morning, man. This is crazy. We are, before I get into who we are, let me say who I am. My name is Elwood Jones. I am the lead pastor here at Landmark Church. We're on first name basis, so you don't have to call me pastor. Don't just call me Elwood. Everybody say Elwood. Elwood, all right. Don't call me what my boys call me, Elwood. Elwood, my little boys. But we're thankful that you're here. You could be any place. You could be in bed right now, and some people are in bed right now. But you're here, and we want to thank everybody who's out there. We're doing this message called Social Media today, who's live streaming today. You see us, shout out to us. If you're from Canada, wherever you're from, just let us know you're seeing us this morning. We're excited that you're here this morning because this is our last week of this message that we've titled Social Media. And so we have a hashtag this morning. Want to say, like, if you're on Facebook, again, you can put in the little hashtags, whatever, however you do that. And so we're excited again that you're here. Now, I was just thinking this week, my wife said, you know what, with your message, is there anything that you could say that takes you back to your past as it relates to your message? Because I told her a little bit about what I wanted to talk about today. And I said, yeah, there's a story that comes to mind. And there's a story that when I was in elementary school, Stonewall Jackson Elementary School, I had this teacher. This teacher was one of the most profound people in my life. You know, every now and then you'll get this one person who just speaks into your life, and his name was Mr. Hunt. Now, Mr. Hunt was this African-American teacher. Anybody that's watching me from Stonewall Jackson would say, yes, Mr. Hunt, he was the man. Mr. Hunt had this fro when fros was really cool back in the 70s. He had these sideburns, and that's when sideburns was, you was the Mac when you had sideburns, man. And so he had these big, thick old sideburns. And Mr. Hunt just had a cool factor. And out of all the teachers I had in 6th grade, Mr. Hunt was the only African-American male that I knew of that was a teacher. And he just so happened to be cool. And then, of course, later on in life, when I think about the people who made an impact in my life, he is on my top 5 list. And here's one of the reasons why. Now, I, like many people, are trying to find my identity and who I am and what makes me significant in elementary school. And so in elementary school, man, you know, it's always like, you know, we're trying to, you know, either, you know, football or whatever, anything that we can find to make ourselves feel good, for people to notice us, to like us. That's how it was in elementary school. Of course, I played all the sports, but I wasn't good at any of them and stuff, so I was just horrible at everything and stuff, and I played a little music. But I noticed that, man, I remember going to school and the flag was out, and someone said, man, they're looking for flag people. So, you know, which I don't know what the technical term was, but it was flag boy. I was called, you know, I wanted to be a flag boy. So eventually, and it was a big deal to me. Like, I think it was like 3rd grade. Like, I was able to get the flag, and of course we learned how to fold the flag, and tuck the flag, and pull the flag out, and how to hang the flag, and that was just a big deal to me. But for some reason, I wanted just a little bit more. I mean, when I was going to school, I would see these patrols, right? And the patrols would stand there, and they got their little belts and their badges. And then, of course, now I don't know how patrols do it today because I just don't pay that much attention. But back then, we were supposed to do like this. That's how we were supposed to do it. So we hold our hands out like this, and then when the light turns red for the cars and green for us to go, then I can do like this, stand like this, and let people go. Now, when you start as a patrol, you stand kind of like you're just like a private or something. You're just like a regular patrol, just a belt. You don't get a badge, you just get a belt, right? But then somebody had the idea that I want to give Elwood some incentive. And I don't know if it was that or just I was that good of a patrol, but everything I do, no matter what it is, I'm going to do it with like full 100%. So, you know, I'm going to be the best patrol, whether I have a badge or not. And I think I made myself up to lieutenant. So now I'm a lieutenant patrol, and I'm moving up the ranks, man, and I'm feeling kind of good. And lieutenant is just not enough for me. I got to go to the top of the food chain when it comes to patrols. I want to be patrolman of the year. That's what I want to be. And so, of course, I'm working hard to be the patrol, and then all of a sudden, like, I get called into the whatever patrol room, I don't know, into the teacher's room, And they said, man, we want to move you up to captain. Now, man, I'm telling you, I was on that, hi! Like, I'm like, man, captain, I'm going to be captain of the patrol, man. You can't tell me nothing. But see, the problem was, you made a person a captain who still got some wildness in him, right? So I still want to act crazy because it wasn't just enough for me to be the captain of the patrol. I just needed a little bit more so you can recognize me and know that I'm significant. And so for whatever reason, man, I would just do dumb stuff, man. I mean, in school, I was just doing crazy stuff. And then one time I went to McDonald's, which was right up the street from us, and I opened up these packages and I put them strategically in the seats when people sit down. Now, don't try this at home. If you're a young person, don't do what he did, okay? I'm just saying, don't do what he did. And so people could sit down, and of course I could sit in the back and laugh at the fact that their pants just got messed up. Now y'all looking at me saying, you sinner, you horrible man you are. I was only 11 years old. So I did that, and I went back, and I was bragging about it. Bragging about the fact that, man, I just made people sit and catch up. I was just evil, right? Just evil little boy. But I'm a patrol. I'm a captain of the patrol. But that same day, I think what got me messed up is we had a new kid that came to our school, and he had been there for a week, and I think he was trying to establish his dominance as the alpha male of the school, and of course I wasn't having it. So you know, he did something that was inappropriate for me. Touched me on a place that I was like, oh no, not me. Homie don't play that. So we squared off. Mr. Hunt pulled me in the office. Excuse me, sir, you got 2 violations. And he's like, well, and you're a patrol. And I'm like, no, don't take my patrol belt and badge, no. So I'm losing it, man. Like literally, I'm about to be in tears because I know I'm in trouble. Know that I'm in trouble. And I'll never forget, I explained to him why I beat up this dude, who everybody was scared of, by the way. I just thought I'd add that. Everybody's scared of him, but I beat his butt, so. Wasn't proud of the fact, after talking to Mr. Hunt, that I got in a fight in school, that I did the catch-up thing. Because Mr. Hunt said to me, he said, to hold this badge and this belt, that's a privilege, it's an honor, and it comes with responsibility. And he says, what I found out about you, and I know this about you, that you're working real hard to get significant. You're working real hard to be known, to be liked, to be accepted, for people to laugh at you, and just to have fun. And he said something very critical to me, and so there's 2 things. He said, first of all, you're a person, not person of color, he said, you're black. You're black. It's when it was politically correct to say Negro and black back then. That's how long it was. So he said, man, you black, man. He said, there's an expectation that people are going to have about you off the break. Now, he's talking to a 12-year-old. I'm in 6th grade. And for some reason, for some 6th graders or 5th, whatever, that may go right over your head. But for me, that thing went right directly to my heart. And he said, man, he said, show them something different because you're the one. Hashtag today, you're the one. See, many of us do weird things and crazy stuff because we want to be seen. We want significance because the reality is that we don't feel good. We really don't feel good. And so when you look at social media, it's amazing to me all the stuff that goes on social media. And it's people's a way of escape, people's way of having their alter ego kind of rise to the scene, their narcissism brought to the front page, because we just want to know, do we matter? Are we significant? Can we make a difference? Do you like me? Will you accept me? Do you think that I'm important? Last week we said, hashtag your story matters. Part of the reason why people do the things that they do is because they don't realize that they have a story, there's a narrative of their life, and that their story matters. I love the first week we talked about everyone wins. What is it like when you come into a room and everybody knows your name? Like here, the gathering, Landmark Church. That everyone here, no matter who you are, where you come from, your background, your identification, you are accepted here and you're loved because you matter. And you win. You win here. And so there's a woman in the Bible that we discovered over the last, and this will be the third week, that was trying to find her significance. It's amazing. Jesus is going from one region to the other, and typically he would bypass this area called Samaria, because Samaria was a place nobody would want to go to. It's kind of like, please forgive me if you're on social media and you're from Simple City. This is nothing against you because I love people from Simple City. I'm just saying, Simple City is not the easiest place to go through. Congress Heights. It's not. I will go there because people matter. But it would be like, can I be real with y'all? You sure? Can I be real now? My son looking at me like, how real are you going to be, Dad? How real? I just need to know before I say yes. It parallels the idea of a white person walking through a neighborhood that's full of black people. And the black people don't like you because they feel like you have marginalized them for whatever reason, right, wrong, or indifferent. They feel like you've been put down. This is the parallel that we're looking at with the Jewish people and the Samaritans. So we say it because it's real. And so here it is, the Jews who would typically, if they're going from one region to another and they have to go through Samaria, they will bypass Samaria by going around it, not going through it, because they don't like us there. Here's Jesus. He takes his boys through Samaria because there's a divine encounter that he's going to have right there. I think it's powerful. Most of us in this room know that Jesus was a man who the multitudes would come out to see him. He would heal and deliver and bring people back to life. And he did all this unbelievable, crazy, wonderful, beautiful things. And yet, he took time to walk through Samaria, a place that nobody would want to go to as a Jewish person. He walks through because he knows he's about to connect with one woman. He knows it ahead of time. He goes to this well, this place where this woman was drawing water. He sees the woman drawing water and he says, hey, give me some water. Would you give me some water? First of all, most people that in that region, if you're a Jew, you would never ask a Samaritan for anything. And as a man, you wouldn't ask a woman for anything. She noticed that. She says, hold on, you're a Jew. Why are you asking me for this? Jesus says, well, if you knew who was asking you this, you would ask him for water. Now he's getting metaphoric. You're drawing water because you need something to drink for your physical body, but I'm able to give you something that will fulfill your entire life, your soul, your spirit. I'm able to give it to you. What? Wait a minute, hold on. On this mountain right here, this is where my people worship. This is where my people... And Jesus said, hold on. This is not about a place of worship. This is about a matter of heart. I'm not tripping on the fact of what you deem as good religion. I just want to build a relationship with you. I just want to have a relationship with you. And so this woman says, you know what? I don't know if I quite understand that right now. I don't know if I totally get that, but when the Messiah comes, he'll reveal all of this to me. When Jesus comes, he'll reveal it all to me. Not Jesus, but the Messiah, the deliverer. Jesus looks her square in the eye, and he says, sweetheart, the one you're looking for is here. I'm the one that you're looking for. I know that you've struggled in your life. In fact, remember, going back, I'm the one that asked you, who's your husband? And she said, well, Jesus says, well, I know that the person that you're living with right now is really not your husband, and you've had 5 husbands. I'm sure, Steve, she probably was studying, asking about husbands. Jesus begins to talk to her about her life. And we don't know the full gamut of that story, but that lady goes back and says, let me tell you about a guy who told me everything about myself. So they probably spent some time talking, and he probably said, you know, when you were young, I remember when things didn't go well for you. I remember when you was hungry, and physical hunger, and you didn't have anybody to feed you. I remember that. I remember when you were taken advantage of, and nobody was there to rescue you. I was there. I'm sure she probably said, well, wait a minute, hold on. If you were there, why did you help me? You're who you say you are. Of course, Jesus probably said, honey, I'm here now. See, I use all of that stuff that seemed to have broken your heart and broken you. It's the reason why you started doing stuff that you've done. Just so that you and I can have a divine encounter, because I am about to release something in your life that had it not been for the hurt and the pain that you've gone through, you have never been able to do what you're about to do right now. This is powerful, man. Let me just say before we get there, I want you to know you're the one. Hashtag this morning, you're the one. Oh my goodness. Turn to the person next to you and say, you're the one. Oh, you're the significant one. You're the beautiful one. Oh, you're the one of purpose. Oh, you're the one that God is going to use. You're the one that can make a difference in the lives of people. Oh, you're the one. And so we're gonna see this on the screen, what happens next. Just then, Jesus' disciples returned and were surprised to find, because the woman had left and went back to her village, and she started telling them about this guy. Like, this guy told me everything about myself. Just then the disciples returned and were surprised to find him talking to the woman, but no one asked, what do you want, or why are you talking with her? Then leaving her water jar, she came there for water. If you came there for water and you leave without water, maybe just she got something more. Oh my goodness. She came there, because here's the thing, all of us are looking for something to feed us, to quench the thirst. Right? Notice me. Look at me. Me and Betty was walking by the school the other day, and they were taking pictures, and the girl said, hey, get my butt. And I lied to you not. She literally said, get my line? She said, get my butt. In the picture. Because this is going on Instagram. Oh my goodness. We are dying on the inside because we're hungry and we're thirsty for something to fill us. And alcohol won't do it. Nothing against alcohol, by the way, I'm just saying. Drugs won't do it. My boo that I'm trying to show that I love him or her can't do it. The real feeling on the inside, and look, this is not saying that there's things that you don't need outside. But the real longing in your heart and your soul and your spirit needs to be filled. Oh my God. Look, let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like something is missing? Oh my goodness. Have you ever just sat at home and you're like, man, I know I'm all that in a bag of chips. But something ain't right. Something is wrong on the inside. And I'm trying to tell you, you're the one. Jesus is coming to fill that. Not that that's going to fix everything in your life, but if nothing else, you'll never thirst again. Real thirst. Because we're all thirsty and hungry for something. So just then leaving her water, the woman went back to town and said to the people, come and see a man who told me everything I ever did. Could this be the Messiah, she said. Here's this woman. Let me just paint the picture real quick. We said it last week. Please don't be offended by this. If you are, I'm sorry. But this woman would be categorized as a freak. She would be categorized as a hoe. She would be, look, first of all, and I'm upset right now, let me just say this, that women are so marginalized in this world anyway. It bothers me. I'll go there. I'm not saying vote for Hillary, please, I'm not saying that. Or Trump, I could care less, whatever the case may be. Vote whoever you want to vote. But I'm telling you this, part of why Hillary is going to have a problem is because she's a woman. This is not even political. It's the way the world is. Women are marginalized. Sexism is real. And it was real back then. So here's the woman that was marginalized, that was put down, that was oppressed. She comes back and says, look, listen, let me tell you something. I'm sure some people looked at her and said, man, get out of here. And yet, did that stop her? Why it didn't stop her? Because she knew, I'm the one. Hashtag, you're the one. And so here she is. She says, come see a man who told me everything I ever did. Could this be the Messiah? Then the Bible says, I love this, on her word. Because they had to know that there's something different about this woman right now. If she could say this, I need to go out and see who this is. I gotta see this. This is crazy. They came out of the town and made their way towards him. Next verse. Meanwhile, his disciples urged him, Rabbi, eat something. But he said, no, I have food to eat that you know nothing about. Then his disciples said to each other, because someone had brought them some food. They just don't get it, do they? My food, Jesus said, is to do the will of him who sent me and finish this work. Let me just say this. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody say, I have a purpose. Everybody say, I have a purpose. Jesus understood his purpose. And I think this is written in here for a reason. Because he wants you to know that he's the one. But he chooses you. Your purpose is to do a specific thing. Not just one thing, but maybe multiple things. You have been put on this earth, on planet Earth, for a reason. And it's not just to get by. I want to tell you, you've been put here to make a difference in the lives of people. You've been put here to make a difference. Everyone is. There's a reason for your life. So where are we at? My food, said Jesus, is to do the will of him who sent me and to finish the work. Many of the Samaritans from the town believed in him because of the woman's testimony. I don't want to just skip over that. I don't want to front on anybody or a couple of people in here. There's some game changers that's in this room right now. And I won't front on anybody. But you have no idea, because of your testimony, how God is using you. You have no idea the fact that something is going on different in your life, that people are looking and saying, hey man, let me see this thing that you're talking about. Let me hear this. Because here's the reason, hashtag, you're the one. Not the person next to you, yeah, they're the one too, but you, you're the one. Why don't you just say it, I'm the one. Say it again, I'm the one. You're the one. And so many of the Samaritans from the town believed in him, and we're going to find out later, they believed unto salvation. They believed that this guy is the Messiah, that this guy can make a change in my life, that the things that I'm trying to fill my life with and trying to quench my thirst, he has it, and I want it because of this one woman. This one divine encounter at a well. This maybe misunderstanding. What do you mean, give me some water? And then all of a sudden, she's a major game changer. The woman that everybody, if you would have put a top 10 list of game changers in Samaria, nobody would have picked that woman. Oh my goodness. So when many Samaritans came to him, check this out. The same guys who hate Jesus, hated him, hated the Jews. We made that case already. They urged him to stay with them. And he stayed for 2 days. Jesus comes to visit you exactly where you're at. Not where you want to be. Not where you think you need to be. But simply where you're at. Because you're the one. You're the one. You're really the one. Without the show, without the gaming, without the playing, you're the one. Without dressing yourself up, putting on makeup, you're the one. Without building the muscles and getting the six-pack abs, which might help me a little bit, you're the one. It's one thing that I want everybody to grasp today, and here it is. No, just keep it good. And because of his word, many of them became believers. Oh, how did I miss that? Because of his words. Let's not ever get it twisted. The reason that you are significant in this room is because there's one who deems you as significant. You don't just get to be significant on your own cool merit. Though Eric, you're very cool, brother. Yeah. You got the cool factor, man. It's something else going on. And so you need to know, many became believers because of his word. They said to the woman, I love this, check this out. They said to the woman, no longer do we believe just because of what you said. Now we have heard for ourselves, and we know this man is really the Savior of the world. Why is this important today? As we're ending this whole thing on social media, why is this so significant and important today? As I talk to particularly millennials, what I understand is millennials want to feel a sense of significance, but they also want to make a difference. And some people are paralyzed because they don't believe that they really can. So that's why movements like ISIS and ISIL starts, because they're pretty much people who join all kinds of movements because they just want to be a part of something. They just want to know that they make a difference. And so today, I'm going to leave you with a challenge. Let's go to the next slide right here. I want you to hear this, and I want this to land hard on your soul today. God's desire is to use your life in a way that touches others. Touch the person next to you. Just touch the person next to you. Touch the person next to you. Okay. And the reason why that's symbolic right now is because God wants you to do that in a meaningful way, to touch the person next to you. On an everyday basis, when you go to work, how can you connect and touch the person that's next to you? Not physically, but just metaphorically. What's the thing that you can do that's going to make a difference in the life of people? What if we woke up every morning with that idea that, hey, it's not about me just waking up and just getting by, but I'm able to touch somebody's life? Man, give me a laugh for that. I know that. Oh my goodness. Because here it is, one person at a time, touching one person at a time, hashtag because you matter. As I close, so many stories. I was sitting with my uncle the other day, and my uncle was talking about his family, my father and all the brothers. And my uncle said something very interesting. He said, you know, when I used to go with your father out to do music and to play and stuff like that, when I used to do that, I used to set up the music and the PA and stuff like that, and your father always made me feel like I was important and I was significant. In fact, your father would, in front of everybody, say, hey, this is my brother over here who's running the sound, and I couldn't do what I do without him. And my uncle's telling the story, and he's crying. He's got tears in his eyes. Because here's what I want you to hear. The reason he has tears in his eyes is because he was touched. Because you know what my father said to him? Hashtag, you're the one. Think of somebody that you can connect with this week. And maybe you might invite them to church. Maybe you might tell them a little bit about a God who loves them. But here's what I want to say as we end. Hashtag you matter, and also what you do for the kingdom of God, for the work of God matters as well. Let's close in a word of prayer. Father, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your goodness, Lord. Thank you so much that each and every one in here has a unique imprint and has a unique ability, has a unique gift set, are unique. And it's amazing that in this room, there are people in this room that don't realize that you knew them before they were even in their mother's womb. In fact, there are people in here that may not realize that you knitted them together uniquely in their mother's womb. And you knew what their outcome would be. And so, Father, I ask right now, Lord, that you would touch the heart of every single person here to let them know, number one, that you are the one, and number two, because you're the one in their lives, they now can be the one. Father, I ask you again your blessing upon each person. Thank you so much for causing us to make a difference, a significant impact in the lives of the people in which we touch. Thank you for being the one in our lives. In Jesus' name, amen.